Hi everyone, welcome to Nick's Diecast. Today I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/18 scale 2011 Mercedes SLS AMG made by Maisto. Maisto has been making this model for quite some time now, I believe since 2011. Right now it comes in this nice dark metallic blue color with the black interior, as well as a silver metallic with a red interior. In the past they've made it in a black with the red interior, a red, like a dark metallic red, and I think also this like matte gold color and stuff too. So you can find it in all different colors. All the discontinued colors you can probably find on eBay, but the current colors like this and the silver you can find on sites such as Amazon, Diecast Model Wholesale, and whatnot, and other diecast online retailers. You can probably also find it at wholesale clubs such as Sam's Club or Costco as well. This model cost around $30 for me, I believe, and I'd say for that price it's well worth it. There's some very good detailing throughout, and I'll show you as we go along with the review why I like it. So we'll begin with the front of this model with the headlights. The headlights look pretty good on this model in particular. There's no pegs to be seen in the lenses, and they actually painted in the light bulb detail, as you can see there with the silver, which looks pretty good. The lenses are nice and clear, and they aren't too thick, and there's no big gaps to be seen in the metalwork that surrounds them, which is nice to see. Moving along to the front here, this front end is actually entirely plastic, which is a bit disappointing, but it's hard to tell with the paint because it's a metallic hue, so you can't really tell that it's plastic and metal put together. This badge, though, here actually is painted on. It isn't a sticker. A lot of Maisto's other Mercedes-Benz models, they'll put in that blue star logo, but it'll be a sticker. On this one, it's actually painted on, which is nice to see. This grille down here, this logo is a separate plastic piece. Looks pretty good. It's done in a nice chrome. The grille itself, though, is just a textured mesh. It isn't perforated or anything. It would have been kind of nice to see it perforated, but in most cases, Maisto doesn't go that far with detail because it is a cheaper model. Moving along to the side, we'll take a look at the wheels. The wheels look really well detailed. The brake discs and calipers are present and they're nicely detailed. The disc does not spin with the wheel like it should, but most Maistos, you don't see that anyway. The calipers are done in this cool orange. It says AMG on it, and the lettering, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks really good, especially from a distance too. The paint on this model is pretty much flawless. It's done in that nice metallic blue, as I mentioned previously. It's nice and smooth and well applied. There's no like orange peel or chipping or anything like that. All of these vents and grills you see on the hood and on the sides of the car are done in separate plastic, and they're nice and firm. They aren't loose or anything, which is nice to see. There's a 6.3 badging for the 6.3 liter engine on either side of the car. That's painted on. We do actually, if I didn't mention before, there is full suspension. It's better in the front here, and steering. One thing though is that the steering, it doesn't stay in place. If you turn the wheel to one side, it just kind of goes back straight. And this has actually been a problem since the model's been new, since they released it in 2011. So it's kind of disappointing to see that they've had this problem for all this time, but they haven't fixed it. But again, it's a budget model, so it's not really a huge deal. Moving along to the rear of the model. Taillights look okay, except for the fact that you see that there's two big, giant glue pegs in there. It kind of takes away from the realism and doesn't look that great, to be honest. Even from a distance, you can still see that they're there and kind of glaringly obvious, which is a bit disappointing. On the other hand, though, the SLS, AMG, and the Mercedes badging back here look really nice. They're all painted on, no stickers, and they look really good. The lower exhaust down here, they are done in chrome, but Maisto actually painted the insides black. They didn't just leave the whole thing chrome, so they look like they're actual exhaust pipes, like hollow exhaust pipes, which is nice to see that they went to that extra detail there. In terms of opening features, you don't get a trunk, unfortunately, but that's because you do get a rear spoiler. So I'm just going to open that up. Or I'm sorry, I'm going to raise the spoiler here. It's going to be a bit hard to... There we go. And it is entirely metal, the spoiler. And it really does add to the look of the car, especially from an angle. It really does look cool. And yeah, once it's raised, you can actually adjust the height of it too. That's really cool that they included that extra feature in there. I think Maisto did spoilers in the past with their other cars, but on here it just looks really good. Would have been cool to see the trunk door opening too, but to save on costs, I guess they had to just do the spoiler and not the trunk. So I'll go ahead and close that up. Or I'm sorry, lower the spoiler, I should say. We'll go ahead and look under the hood. I'm just going to flip the car over. There we go. Engine detailing is pretty good. It is just kind of one plastic, like flat plastic piece in there, but there is depth to it a little bit, and there is some color and texture. And here it has kind of a rough texture to simulate carbon fiber. There is a Mercedes-Benz logo in the main block here, and you can see they even put the little signature here. The builder of every AMG engine, they sign the engine once they're done with it, so they did put that in here. It isn't a real signature or anything, but they did include it, which is nice to see. The underside of the hood does have a plastic liner. A lot of times Maisto just leaves it as bare metal, but on this one they actually put in the liner. So overall, I would say it's a nicely detailed engine. The hood is a bit heavy, so after a while it might not stay open anymore, which would kind of stink, but I try not to open it too much for that reason. And the moment you've all been waiting for, here are the opening gull-wing doors, because this is the SLS AMG gull-wing. Let's go ahead, just look at the front of this. Looks really nice with the doors open especially. So that'll give us nice, easy access to the interior to take a look at that. We'll start with the seats here. The seats look very nice. Maisto did a good job with imitating the leather texture with the plastic seats. They included the seat belts in there too with the buckle. The buckles aren't silver, but if you want to paint them silver, you can. The seats are nice and thick, and they look like they're the right proportion for this model, which is nice to see. Door panel detail, it's kind of hard to get to the door panels because they're up like that. Door panel detail is pretty good too. They also put in that same leather texture in there, as well as the painted door handle and everything, which is a nice touch. We'll move along to the center console. The center console detail is really nice as well. Maisto painted all the buttons on. They're all in the right places, and there's no stickers to be seen except for the navigation screen, which is kind of standard practice for most budget models, and most models in general too. The steering wheel detail is really well executed as well. All the buttons are painted on either side. They even put in like the shift paddles. The Mercedes-Benz logo is painted on in the center. I think there's a couple little horn logos, but I can't really tell with this lighting. And the pedals down here, they're painted in silver to simulate the brushed aluminum look, which is another nice touch. On the door sills, you can see there's a little AMG insignia right here, and this is just a I thought it said Mercedes-Benz, but it's just a black. It's just a black door sill. It's better to see on the other side here. Pardon the blurriness. It's going to be hard to kind of focus in there. But on the other side, you kind of saw that all the buttons were nicely placed. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. And the dashboard even has that leather texture on it too. So overall, this is a really good interior, especially from more recent efforts from Maisto. And if you do opt for a color that comes with the red seats, they really do add to the look of the interior, and they look really nice. I kind of wish they chose the red seats for this blue color, but honestly, the black does look pretty good with it. So yeah, that's that. Oh, and the backs of the seats actually have this silver pattern on it, which is kind of cool to see. In terms of the undercarriage, we'll flip the model over. The usual just chrome exhaust that Maisto does on most of their models. There's not really much else to see under here. Overall, I'd say this is a solid model. I would definitely recommend this over the Motor Max version, which is actually quite bad, and it costs a little bit more actually than the Maisto. So I would place this in between the Motor Max and underneath the Mini Champs and the Kyosho versions. So overall, I would recommend this model for your collection. And if you do find one, I highly recommend buying it. Thanks for watching.